This planer does a good job, but there are altogether too many screws to unscrew and then screw back in to either change the knives or do what I did here, which is sharpen them, I guess you could say. Trying out something different. I'm getting ready to plane some cherry with this thing, and I have a new set of knives, and I don't want to use them yet. The ones that are in here, one side is dull, is crazy dull. I use that to plane all the lumber that I had in my shed. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it was a lot of stuff, a lot of rough stuff, a lot of dirt on it and stuff. So that's destroyed. This side is getting dull, but there are no deep nicks or anything. So I figured that I could just take them off, and instead of getting out that rig I made for sharpening this, I thought I would just do it kind of freehand. I'm setting it on my thing here and running the diamond stick back and forth to touch it up type thing, and then take the burr off on the what is that? Sharpening stone. They feel sharper, and they probably are. The thing about these blades is they're disposable. You're not really supposed to sharpen them, but I figure that you should at least be able to touch them up once or twice. And I originally did this on my on the jointer there. I made up this special block here with another one of the diamond sticks, and what it does is it holds it at the right angle. You rotate the cutter head until the blade is at the right angle, and then you just run this back and forth across it, and it really worked. Like, it made it way sharper than what it was. So same principle here. I'll see if it works. You're not going to see it in this video. I don't think by looking at it you see that it's cutting any better. You know when you're using the tool, because it's not. It sounds sharper. Like, if you own a planer and you know what it sounds like when it's dull, you know what it sounds like when it's sharper too. Anyway, so I thought I would bring out the camera and talk a little bit. I haven't done one of these in, I think, more than a month, actually. I don't think I did one in the month of January. And I apologize for that, because it was my intention from the start to, hang on, to at least make one of these per month, you know, exclusive video. And I didn't get one done last month. And to be honest, it's because the month flew by for some reason. And that has me kind of concerned a little bit, because, you know, January's cold, snowing, and it's generally regarded as a shitty month. And if that's flying by, how are the good months going to go? So, I don't know. Thinking like, I think the character's name was Arby in Catch-22, if you read that book. I think he was doing, I don't think he was doing, I know he was doing stuff, he was intentionally doing boring stuff with the idea that it would extend his life. I'm not down to that yet. I'm not up for doing boring stuff. I can't be bored these days. Like, when you're a kid, I think you can be bored maybe in your 20s. If you're not too wrapped up in stuff, you can get a little bored. But man, I cannot pinpoint a time in my past, say 25, 30 years actually, that I've been bored. I haven't. You know, you get in situations where you don't want to be, and that's a drag, but it's not the same as boredom. Boredom is where you, there's a distinction between boredom and not feeling like doing something. Boredom is when you want to do something, but there's nothing to do. Or at least you think there's nothing to do. You follow? So what am I planning with this? I'm planning some cherry that I cut up a couple of days ago. Got this in backwards. Believe it, this thing is directional. I cut up a couple of days ago to make a pair of speakers from. That'll be a project that I'm going to be working on next, I think. I'm out here doing this now. It's like after dark because I've been all day working on the build article for, not just the build article, the plan sales page, and the plans themselves, going through that and packing it up into a PDF and getting all the T's crossed and the I's dotted on that. And it was driving me a little crazy. I mean, yesterday I spent the entire day from 8 in the morning until almost 9 o'clock at night editing the video for that. And that wasn't actually, I didn't do the whole thing complete. I already started on it 2 times before that. So, and it's not really that big of a video. It's just, that's how long it takes to make videos, like, you know, good quality build videos that are not 3 hours long, because the guy just turns the camera on and leaves it running while he's doing the thing. And some guys get that to work. Some guys can get 1 million views on those videos, but God damn it, I can't. So I got to work it to try to get them down. Anyway, so yeah, I was doing that and getting a little bit antsy. So I came out here to do this. Figure I get this done, get it out of the way. Planer's ready when I go to proceed again with the project. And I really want to get on that this week. This is part of a bigger assortment of projects for revamping my office. I want to change things up in there. The way it is right now is too cluttery. It's too, I don't know. I got the desk and I sit between the desk and the wall, and it's feeling very much like, I don't know, like you're sitting in the cockpit of an airplane or something, and not being in an airplane is not nearly as cool. So it's cooped up. It's too cocoony. It's, I don't know, it's too confining. I want some freedom to move around type thing. You know, I have my chair and I made those pads that the wheels sit in, and that even stopped the chair from moving. So a few days ago, I took those and I threw them out into the snow. Like discus, I threw them into the snow, got rid of those. Now I got a little bit of freedom to roll around. You know what? If it marks up the floor, fuck it. Yeah, I want to move things out of that. I want to keep the desk. I'm going to make a few changes to it. The biggest change is that the computer is not going to be parked inside of it anymore. And that's another project I'll be making, is a new case. And I posted a kind of a rendering of that, a SketchUp rendering of that on Instagram. That's kind of basically the idea. I would prefer to go with something a little bit more practical, a little bit more utilitarian, but you know, you have to jazz it up enough that it catches a few views. So I'll try to make it look sweet. And then the speakers are going to be nice. You know, speakers that I'm making would, at retail for this quality speaker, it'd be $2,000 a set. So that's nice. And I'm making the majority of it from solid cherry. So that's interesting. Usually you want to avoid, like the plague, solid wood when you're building speakers, but there is a method to do it, and that's the reason why I want to do it here. I'll show and I'll go through that. So that's interesting, I think. Maybe. We'll see. I'm trying to mix things up a little bit, not only for the viewer, like for the sake of the viewer, but also for the sake of me. It's difficult to get up for this every day, you know. I've worked harder jobs, and I said this before, but the thing about this job is that there's nobody, there's nobody kicking me in the ass to get up in the morning, to get up and do this stuff. So I've got to be very self-motivated to continue doing this week in and week out, day after day, because it's basically a 7-day a week thing, and basically all your waking hours. I mean, if you're away from it for a while, you go right back to it again. And I mean, if you carry your phone with you, you're still hooked up. So I don't know. I'm cut out for that though, and I've said this before. I'm an introvert by nature, and I think that is the type of personality that's best suited to this type of endeavor, where you're basically working by yourself for long hours, and you have to rely on yourself for support and motivation and so on and so forth. But like I say, it can be difficult at times. I mean, but like I said, I've had worse jobs, so I'm very appreciative for where I am now. I know I talked about changing things up before, and I talked about getting a house and fixing up. That may still go ahead. I'll see. There's a lot of, I got to be honest, the work itself is good. I love the work. It's the nonsense, bullshit, red tape that goes along with it. All the back end stuff that goes along with that I hate. And I realized this a long time ago, that you can only be good at so many things. I mean, if you're good at one thing, really good at one thing in your life, then you're lucky. If you're really good at a couple things, then you're even luckier. But nobody is lucky enough to be good at everything, to want to do everything. Anyway, I'm rambling on and on and on and on and on and on, so I'll shut this down here. I'm going to roll my planer right back in its nook there, because what I got to do is I've got to go in and get the camera for taking pictures and get a better picture of my thing here. I took a bunch of pictures the other day, but I'm not happy with it. Once again, you really need to get a jazzy looking thumbnail, something that's going to grab the viewer's attention. If you want to get any views these days, just the fact that you're doing something is not enough. It has to be attractive. It has to pull the viewers in. And that'll be your longtime viewers too, because there'll be people that are subscribed to me and watch virtually every video I make, and they'll see a video. And if the thumbnail looks like shit, they're not going to watch the video either. So yeah, that's the way it works. And the title helps too. Okay, I'm going. Bye. Get in there.